begin. Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. I am Natural Mana, and today I'll be sharing with you some lessons that I have learned in 2020, and that is how 2020 really changed me. I know I'm late, but better late than never, so I'm gonna share with you anyhow. So year 2020 was wow. I don't even have words to describe how 2020 was, but all I can say is thank you. Thank you so much for all the lessons that you taught me. Thank you for the experiences. Just thank you for just opening my eyes to reality and what really and truly matters in this world, in this life. And I'm so grateful for all the lessons that I have learned. I'm so grateful for everything that really happened. And I mean, I don't want it to come off like I'm being insensitive, because what I'm saying, a lot of persons really had a tough year. 2020 was really hard for a lot of people, and my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to people who are still trying to put the pieces together in 2021. But I'm not being insensitive, because I have gone through a lot of stuff too, but 2020 was really my best year, hands down. So I'm not gonna hold you guys up with all this chit chat. I'm just gonna dive right into the lessons that I have learned. My first lesson is to trust God. Honestly, I would have never been here right now talking to you guys without God. I couldn't have made it at all. That's my first lesson. Trust God. I mean, if you don't believe in God, whatever it is that you believe in, trust that higher being, trust that supreme being that you believe in. You want to think about the universe, trust it, But for me, I believe in God, Jesus Christ, and Heavenly Father, and my whole life changed in such a flash that I really had no other person to really turn to but God. And I mean, that's what I normally do. I normally turn to God, but 2020 really, I just had to trust God, and I saw God work a lot of things out in my favor, and things that were not so favorable, but I was also thankful. So my first lesson is to trust God. Believe that everything will work itself out, and even if you were to do something and it's not working out, just trust that whatever didn't work out, you're gonna have something 10 times better. And that's what happened to me in 2020. My second lesson is to take nothing in this world for granted. Take nothing in this life for granted. Take no one for granted. Everything, live every day that you have, live within that moment. Because for me, I used to always just soak in everything, but honestly, 2020 taught me that your life can change within 1 day, within 1 second. And I say this to say that I was working in the aviation industry, and within a flash, we all had to be called in to meeting and stuff, and we were laid off. A lot of us were redundant. A lot of us never got back our jobs. And for me, it was a bittersweet moment. It was bittersweet because, I mean, come on, you're gonna be earning money, and I'm not gonna be earning that anymore. But it's sweet for me because I got the break that I needed. I really needed to have a break, because I was working 12-hour shifts. I was just working and going to school, and I just needed that break. And that was what redundancy did for me. Sorry. And my third lesson that I learned in 2020 is that death, or a taste of death, can really, oh my gosh. Let me find a different way to rephrase this and not just say death. But having a second chance at life can really change your perspective. And I say this to say that in 2020, I had a surgery. I had to do a major surgery called myomectomy. A lot of you may be aware of it. I had to do a major surgery. And if you know me, I'm afraid of needles. I'm afraid of hospitals. And overall, I'm just really a paranoid person. And it was really hard for me to do that surgery. But on top of everything, I went through it, and I went through it by the support of God, my family, and friends. I could not have done it had I not trusted in God, had I not had family support, and had I not had good friends in my corner. That was so vital. So I went through surgery, and I was basically dead for like 3 hours. When I woke up, it's not like I felt anything. I was like, wow, did that really just happen? Well, yeah, it happened. And I woke up with the scars to show. And I'm that kind of person who I don't like scars on my body. So for me to really have this scar on my body right now, and I am not even ashamed of it, I am embracing it. It goes to show you that I have really changed my perspective on how I view life. I woke up so grateful to be alive. I was like, wow, God, did you really just bring me through this? Because I thought I was not going to make it out of this surgery. My second reason why I really value life right now, and I don't want to take any moment for granted. I just want to soak in everything, and any way that I can change my life right now, I am willing to do that, because I found out, I got a taste of death, and to just realize that you've basically wasted your whole life. And my second experience in 2020 was when I was just walking in a busy street in Kingston, and I just walked over across the sidewalk, and in less than 20 seconds of walking on that sidewalk, there were exchange of bullets with gunmen, and one gunman and police, and I was caught in between that crossfire. I have the scars to show right here. I had to literally dive on the pavement, a paved sidewalk, guys. It's not like I was diving on something soft, and I lost a lot of stuff. I lost my bank card, my everything, but none of that really mattered. My whole life was what really mattered, that I was able to escape being caught in that crossfire, being escaped without getting shot, or just being alive. Oh my gosh, it's so unbelievable, and it really changed how I view life and how I go about living my life these days. My fourth lesson that I have learned in 2020 and how 2020 has changed me is family. Family over everything. Family, like literally family. Support your family, believe in your family, and love your family, because family is everything. And I'm saying this because in 2020, I never had to pay for rent. I never had, even my hospital fee was really expensive. My surgery fee was really expensive. And I never had to pay for anything out of pocket. And all of that was because I had family. I never had to do anything. And I mean, a lot of persons were without jobs and stuff, and I never had to go a day wondering, how am I going to eat? How am I going to live? I was just completely well taken care of and supported by my family, and I never really had to struggle. I never did. I really had a wonderful time in 2020, and that's because of all my family. So all my families, I thank you so much for being there for me. Every single person who has supported me throughout my journey, my friends. But most important, guys, I'm telling you, family is the foundation of all. When you have a good family support, don't ever regret that. Don't ever do anything. Don't ever take it for granted, and don't do anything to ruin it, because it's priceless. A lot of persons don't have that kind of support where family is concerned, and I've had my fair share of bad family members, and I'm telling you, my circle came together, and I just had an amazing 2020. Okay, so my fifth lesson is to take care of yourself. Take some time to really take care of yourself, know what you want. And self-care is not selfish. You know what is selfish? Self-care is not you saying it's all about me and forget everybody in the world. That's not what self-care is. Self-care is taking care of your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. And that was what I needed the most in 2020, because before the shutdown and the pandemic, I was just go 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 go. I was just going like that. I had school, I was traveling all over the place, I was going back and forth to work, and I just never really had a break, you know. And I was really exhausted and my body was just shutting down. And when I got that moment away from work and school, and I was just able to, oh my gosh guys, this is the best thing that ever happened to me in my whole life. I remember just being in tune with plants. I was gardening, I was watering plants, I was speaking to plants, I was so involved in the earth, and I was connected, and we were just one, and it felt so good. Like my whole life was at peace, and that was what I needed for so long. I needed peace, and in that moment I was able to use plants, gardening, you name it, just to heal myself, because of course I also had to heal from the surgery that I had gone through, but I also had to heal emotionally and my mental health. That was able to just connecting with plants and just do what I like, and just slowing down was able to make me heal mentally, emotionally, and physically. My sixth lesson that I learned in 2020 is to save for rainy days. Honestly guys, you know, growing up, your family members or whoever tell you save for rainy days. You can't just spend your money however you want on stuff that you want that is not really necessary. And I was always like, yeah, you've been saying that for so long, but no rainy day really come around. Well, thank God, I learned so many financial lessons in 2020. And if there's anything that we, the younger generation, millennials, have right now, is age. We have age on our side, guys. Look at people right now who are way older than us and don't have that much. And I'm not being insensitive, so please don't come at me, but there are people who are way older than us who did not use the opportunity and time to really save and invest, and they are not doing well. And 2020 really brought everybody down to on their feet, on their knees. And once you can't prepare yourself for every change in this world, because change is inevitable. But what I'm saying is that being able to saving and investing is a good way to fall back on your own financial foundation when crises like this happen. And I learned that the hard way. Of course, I had a little savings, but it was not that much to take me through. And that's why I come back to this, where I talk about family, because I really could not have made it had it not been for family and God. Okay, my seventh lesson that I learned in 2020 is life gives you lemons. Throw the lemons at you, make lemonade. And it's cliche. I mean, you hear this all the time, but it's true. A lot of times stuff don't work out the way that we want it to, but it doesn't mean that we should crumble. It doesn't mean that we should get sour about it. It just means that you should just go on, you know. And I learned this lesson when I used to always say that I will never ever celebrate my birthday at home. I have to go somewhere. And in 2020, my birthday is in April, so you know, at that time the shutdown, the lockdown was real, guys. And my best friend and I, we had planned to go to Disney in Orlando, and we were not able to go, and my birthday had to be celebrated at home. And honestly, it was one of the best birthdays I've ever had in my whole life. I was pampered by my boyfriend. It was just everything. Oh my gosh, guys, you have no idea. I had such a wonderful birthday with flower petals on the bed, and it was just nice to just not think about the fact that I wasn't able to go to Disney. And everything, I never did any work that day. Everything was I was just catered to, and that was just wonderful. And the messages that I got from people, all the love, it was just beautiful, guys. And my eighth lesson now that I learned in 2020 is that to keep moving. So what life throws at you, keep moving. You know, once you have life, there is hope. Don't be burdened down by what life throws at you, because there's always going to be challenges. There's not one person that doesn't have a challenge right now in their life. But no matter what you go through in this world, just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't stop right there. Just keep moving and move gracefully. Rise above the obstacles. Rise above people's mess, because a lot of people may not be who they say they are, and you don't want to stop because someone is not being who you thought they were. Because sometimes we have high self-esteem. We have high views of people, high perceptions of people that they can't even meet for themselves. So if something happened to you, you have a breakup, you lose your job, friends aren't who they claim to be or pretend to be, just keep moving. Like, move. Like, don't stay still. Keep moving. Don't let it eat you out that you don't know who you are really. Heal, but don't stop right there, because you can heal while on the go. You don't have to stop your whole life. You don't have to change who you are to heal. You can heal. I'm healing every day, guys. I'm healing right now as we speak. Right now from stuff that happened in my childhood, from stuff that happened to me while I was a teenager, from stuff that happened to me recently. But I'm telling you guys, just keep moving. Oh my gosh, I'm so stuffy. I'm so sorry. Chicago weather, it's doing that to me. But yeah. Okay, was that my 8th lesson? Okay, I know my 9th lesson is... My 9th lesson is to give back. Whenever you can, be humble. Well, not when you can, you must always be humble. But whenever you can, give back. No matter what it is that you don't have, always reach out to other people, because I'm telling you, God is just gonna bless you 10 times. Especially when you give when you weren't able to do it. Give back and help those who can't help themselves. Help people who you don't expect nothing from. That's what I'm saying. And you see how it worked out in your favor. I mean, it's not that you wanted anything from it, but help people without an agenda. Help people without expecting anything in return. Try, if you can't do it for everybody, because we can't help the world, you know, but help within your circle. You know, someone going through something, reach out, you know, and see how best you can help them, which I did that in 2020, and it made me feel like a better person, because at that time I was going through stuff, and I reached out to several people who were also going through stuff that I also assisted in that moment. And my number 10 lesson that I learned in 2020, I'll tell you soon. Okay. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to walk away from stuff that don't serve you. Love yourself enough. Oh my gosh, I don't want to cry. I'm not gonna cry. Love yourself enough to know when you're self-destructing. Love yourself enough to know when something doesn't help you enough. Love yourself to know when this journey right now from point A to point B is over. Love yourself enough to say that this is time to move on. Love yourself enough to know that your health is deteriorating. Love yourself enough to know that you deserve more in this world. Love yourself enough to go after stuff. Love yourself enough to respect yourself. Love yourself enough to think about your future self. Love yourself, and don't apologize for loving you. Be your best self. That was my number 10 reason, guys. My number 10 lesson was to love myself. Oh my gosh, I cannot begin to tell you guys. 2020, you chewed me up, you spit me out, and you did so much to me, but you never took away the love that I had for myself. You never took that away from me. You never did. Nobody did. And I had to build myself. I had to rebuild myself so many times. I was broken in pieces. I had to glue myself up. But I'm telling you, 2020 knocked me down, but it straightened me out. It made me see how stronger I never knew I was that strong, but 2020, you made me realize that I'm stronger than I thought I was. I'm stronger and I'm better. I'm a better person. I can do all things once I believe in myself. Like, honestly, guys, love yourself. Thank you so much for listening, because I don't want to get emotional on this video right now. But thank you so much for listening, guys. And I hope that whatever that happened to you, especially if it's something that's negative, try not to make it ruin your 2021 and the years to come. Heal, grow from it, grow through it, but don't let it affect your future. And that's what I'm not doing right now. Nothing's gonna affect my future right now unless it's outside and external. But anything internal for me is not going to affect it, because I have changed within, and I've realized that, girl, you gotta grow. Girl, you gotta get this. Girl, you gotta get up. Love yourself. Bye, beautiful souls.